just becoming a thing. Just becoming a thing. So today we have all kinds of languages that I couldn't even sit down to even begin to know. Like, I just don't know. And I haven't done it for so long. And anything for coding, like when I have like easy language stuff for like TradeStation, I have a friend, Logan, he does all that coding for me. He's done it for years for me. And I tell him, this is what I want this to do. This is what I want this to do. I want this to do this. I don't want it to do this when this does this. And there it was. Long-term friend that I've met, and he does all that work for me. But when I sat down and looked at the things that other people say they have a struggling point with, for instance, take Jack Swagger's books, Market Wizards. In my opinion, Market Wizards 1 and 2, they're the only ones that matter. The other shit, whatever. And if you're listening and you're one of the people in that book, you know, it's not to be disrespectful, but, you know, I just didn't enjoy any other volume in that series. The first and second one's great. What I liked most about those interviews is they talked about their barriers. They talked about what mattered to them. What was the things that were on their mind at the time when they were doing their trades or learning how to trade, how they came up. You know, they didn't talk about what Jack was trying to do most of the time. I'm sure he probably cut most of the shit that they talked about in their interviews out. Otherwise, the books could be very, very long, right? But the things of importance to me would have been hearing how they dealt with certain struggles and what they did with it. Did they just cast it aside and say, fuck it, I'm going to fail with that every time I touch it? Or did they take in consideration that they could bring something to the table and elevate that struggling point to a strength for themselves and other people? Remember, I'm that guy at 11 years old was told by their grandmother, you're lazy, honey. You're lazy. I'm not fucking lazy. Give me a thing to focus my attention on, and I'm going to find dozens of ways to do it exceedingly well. Because I want it to be easy for me. I want it to be second nature for me. And I'm trying to instill that on my young children. And it took time for me as a 20-year-old to figure this out. And my older kids still wrestle. They're still wrestling with me. And I'm telling them, trade this way. Don't try to do these other things. Caleb looks at other things in the charts that don't matter right now because he has attention issues. Okay, he looks at other things, and I'm trying to keep his attention right here, this right here. Okay, and I'm trying to include that also when I'm doing my markups and my analysis. When I'm looking at the chart, I'm trying to highlight the actual portion of the fractal I'm only focused in. And I know some of you look at the chart and you think just because I have all those candles on the left-hand side of the chart showing that they're pertinent to what it is I'm trading. They're not. There is a segment of price action I'm working within, and it's the dealing range. I'm either looking for that range to be broken to the upside and targeting external range liquidity, or I'm looking for it to trade into a range above or below the existing range that's created. So that's all trading is. That's all it is, folks. And you're trying to make things much more complicated, and you accuse me of complicating things. I'm not. But the problem is many of you want to go through a 5-minute video and me explain everything in 5 minutes, and you can't do that. No one can. No one can. There's so many things I've already covered in this discussion here that you probably never considered. Like, shit, I never really thought about that. Right. And others in here probably listening to saying, this is bullshit, a waste of my time, and you're never going to make any money. I'm promising you're not going to make any money because you're coming in with this same expectation that I had when I was 20. I want it easy. I want it spelled out exactly like this. I want an ABC 1, 2, 3 method that I know will work all the time. That's what I wanted as a 20-year-old. That's exactly what I wanted. Because the books that I was buying made it seem like that was possible. And when I was blowing my accounts, hey, guess what? Something's wrong with this logic here. I got to figure out what the hell the real story is. And most of it was coming internally, manifesting itself in my trading. Feeling a strong desire to prove myself because I was scarred by a family member who I loved. So I manifested that tendency to overcompensate, proving to myself that I'm perfect And I have to be in at the highest high when I'm seeing a bearish divergence on stochastics and I'm bearish on the market. I have to be in there. I have to be in there. If I don't do that, my grandmother is going to say I'm lazy. That's how it scars you. That type of shit scars you deep when you're, well, wired like I am, which is not normal. And I'm not claiming to be normal. That's why I'm a very difficult mentor to learn from, because I have real mental baggage that I can't overcome. I can't. And therapists and all kinds of all the bullshit, it ain't going to fix me. So I turned it into a strength. I sat down in an evening on the weekend, literally crying tears over these fucking charts that I could not figure out. I'm looking at these charts thinking to myself, I know I'm going to be able to do this. I know I can figure this out. But why the fuck can't I get this to be consistent? Why can't I find, this pattern to trade the bond market over and over and over again? I know it can be done. I see the moves after it happens. Why the fuck can't I see it before it happens? Because I was looking at 30 different ways that other people said in books. And when I was buying their VHS bullshit, okay, I was trying to catch up with whatever I thought was happening right then and there. I was trying to form fit something after it starts moving. So my weakness was what? I needed to have confirmation, because I was afraid to step out there and do something and be wrong, because consequence of being wrong was detrimental to me, because I beat myself up mentally and emotionally, because I would refer back to what memory? My grandmother saying, honey, you're lazy. And all she was talking about was me being unable at 11 years old to shovel a half a ton of fucking rock and line it around a swimming pool on a day that was almost 100 degrees. And I had already been delivering picnic tables, living with my grandmother, my other grandmother, my mom's side. And I delivered picnic tables with him all morning, picking them up. I'm 11 years old, frail little boy. Okay. I wasn't a man. I was a little kid, and I'm tired. And treated lumber, 8-foot long picnic tables, is fucking heavy as shit. You got to walk over, flip it up on the back of the pickup truck, ride on the back of the pickup truck. Unsafe, I know, but it was fun as fuck. Get to the place, and then they want you to walk it around their backyard delivering for $5. And I got that money. The $5 delivery charge he charged, I got that. That was my compensation for helping him. But I had done 7 picnic tables that day, and it's hot as shit. And she's like, you want to come and spend the night? Sure, Grandma, I'm on my way up there. And she was, just wait there, I'll pick you up. She picks me up, get up there, a glass of iced tea, a couple of cookies. Okay, well, here's what I want you to do. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I can't get this done today. And I was hot. I went back in to get something to drink an hour and a half later, or something to that effect. And she's like, that's all you got done? Oh, honey, you're lazy. That was it. I never went up there again. And I was angry. And it's the last time I spoke to her. Like a grandma type thing. But it scarred me deep. Deep. Now, my mom's side, my grandfather knew I wasn't lazy, because that man would not let me fucking be lazy. Okay? He would wake my ass up with the kick of the door. Get the fuck out of that fucking bed, boy. If I was 1 minute past that fucking alarm clock getting off. He was a Navy man. No slacking in that fucking house. None. Shit was done. It was done on time, and it's the way it was. I did not want to disappoint that man. He was not my father, but I looked at him like he was. And every time he told me to do something, I was done. Already done. Already done. Took care of it. Good boy. Good boy. That's why I tell you, I wish he could see me now. I know my grandmother is in heaven. And if she can hear me, I know she probably regrets saying what she said, but I'm glad she said it, because it motivated me like a motherfucker. It motivated me and pushed me like I am today still. I'm 50 fucking years old, and this shit jacks me the fuck up every time. I'm hard on my boys the same way. You need that. That's what a father's supposed to do. I'm not raising fucking kids to be their buddy, to be their friend. Okay? I'm teaching them life skills. This fucking world is going to take from you. It's going to take. And if you're an adult and you're working, you know what it feels like. It's not what you were hoping for when you were in school. I can't wait to get out of high school. gonna do what the fuck I want. No, you're doing a whole lot more shit that you don't want to do for less money than you should fucking get. It's a lie. The American dream is a fucking lie. So you got to do something other than the American dream. You got to find your own way of doing it, your own business. You formulate your own approach to doing shit outside the lines they've colored for all of us to be within. Fuck that shit. So laziness is not where I am. I've not been lazy since I was 11 years old. I've worked all the time. And every time I put my hands to anything with the market, the end result, the destination is excellence. That's what I'm aiming for. That's terminus, excellence. And if you ain't doing that when you're doing this, studying and trying to learn and working towards it, you ain't going to make it. So you got to change your mindset and your outlook on how you're going to approach learning, who you're going to learn from. Is it a constant bunch of bullshit, nonsense, and drama? Or are you learning from somebody that's taking you into a chart, saying this is what the science behind this is? This is when it should do this. This is how it should happen. This is what it should look like. Does it fucking repeat? Is other people making money? Are they proving that this shit works? Is it transferable knowledge? Because if it's not transferable knowledge and it's all reckless bullshit where stop losses are ambiguous, well, sometimes I'll use a stop loss, sometimes I won't. I'm going to go in and do full leverage to get back a loss because I have to have social equity increase on my social media accounts. Can't be looking like I'm losing money when you're trading recklessly. All the emphasis is in the wrong shit. Public approval. Fuck the public. I don't give a fuck if you like me. I don't care if you like me. I show you everything. My fucking mental baggage, my fucking weaknesses. I tell you everything. Everything. I pushed myself this week into a setting when I know I cannot do well, just to prove to you, yes, this shit that I'm teaching you will fucking lose in areas where I tell you to avoid it. What I do? I get out there, 2 trades, losing trades. I could have kept that from you. I could have hid that from you. But I'm trying to communicate that if I'm going to do what everybody else is fucking doing, guess what? I'm going to have the same lackluster results that they're going to have. Shit results is what it is. I don't want that. I can't tolerate that. I'm not wired for that shit. I want precision. It may elude me in execution here or there. I don't give a fuck. I'm aiming in the right direction. I'm aiming for excellence. I'm going to hit it every fucking time. Every time. Perfection, might miss the bullseye on that one. But excellence, that's where the fuck I reside. I live there. And you need to change your fucking address. You need to reside in Excellenceville. Okay? Right now, you're hanging around people on social media. These motherfuckers don't know how to do anything. Nothing but influence and create worshipers. I don't want you to worship me. Don't worship me. Put your fucking sleeves rolled up, show up, take notes, learn. At the end of the year, you're going to be a different fucking person. Period. This is the way it is. If you put in the time and do exactly what I tell you to do and avoid all the other shit, you will be able to do this. Between the high and the low, everybody ignores that. The books talk about, give me the entry signal at the top, at the divergence, at the pattern height in a bearish scenario. And the target, well, it might get down there. We don't know for certain. Here's the thing. I'm teaching you, you don't need that to happen. How liberating is that? How fucking liberating is that? Because I struggled in the beginning to make this shit go to the targets that these books said they were supposed to happen. And sometimes they never even got close. They never would even fucking get remotely close to it. But I would still buy another book by that author. Because that's the secret. The next book, that's the fucking one he's going to tell me. He's going to tell me. He's just making me hold out for it. He wasn't, stupid. He put his logic into multiple books. So I got to keep buying his books. And it was just one more fucking thing that would compound my confusion. So I said, fuck this shit. Indicators and new settings, and the logic of why you use this setting count for RSI and use this setting for stochastics and smooth the percent D and the percent K to this level. Fuck all that. All that effort, all that time and concern about a fucking indicator. If I just would have applied that time and energy on reading what the open, high, low, and close is and understanding liquidity and the element of time, that's what I was looking for all along. That's exactly what you're looking for, but you can't recognize it because you listen to all this other bullshit from other people. Because you've probably seen them make a trade, it was profitable. Maybe they take money out of a funded account. Maybe they've done other shit. They've shown profitability. None of that shit is what makes markets go up and down. They just got lucky, like I did in the beginning. That's all it is. And money management has preserved them. That's all it is. Now, what happens, folks? What happens when you take the best of money management and risk management and you couple it with highly precise, time-based price action? Think. You see what I demonstrate every week. That to me, folks, if I was seeing someone do what I've been showing you all for years, proving executions, it's in there, it's undeniable. Logic beforehand. You sat with me last week and I called every 1 minute candle perfectly. Told you when it was likely to reverse, why it would be reversing, and it fucking reversed, and I showed you how to stop loss could be protected, and then boop, it goes up. That's not guesswork. That's not cherry picking. That's sound logic that repeats every fucking day. And they can't hide it from you. They can't change it from you. It can't be changed. It's the way it is, folks. And I can't say any more than that. I promise you, it's not going to change. You're going to get trades wrong. There's going to be crazy movements that come out of nowhere sometimes, and it's going to probably hurt your account, hurt other people. It doesn't change anything. That's manipulation. That's the category you just, okay, that was something I couldn't control. Nobody could have made money in that situation. It is what it is. Continue on. Resume back to what you're looking for. Time and price. You're not getting caught up. I just had 2 losing trades. Something's different now. Nothing's different except for the account balance. Continue on. It'll take care of itself. So take your attention to the meat on the middle of the bone. That's where you can always find your ends meet. You all want to do like I did, catch the highest high and the lowest low. Because unless you do that, you're not successful. You're not worth talking about. When I was on America Online, when I first was coming up, I wanted to be able to go on America Online. Message boards back then, that's how we were doing things. And I wanted to talk about how I got in this trade at the highest high and got out the lowest low. That was my pursuit. That was my goal. That was the whole reason why I was wanting to trade, because I wanted the public approval. I wanted to have people look at me like a hero. Think about that now. Contrast that with what I do today. I can do this stuff for now. I won't be able to do it later on when I'm older. Mental faculties will diminish. I hope I don't experience that, because I don't ever want to live a day where I can't do what I'm doing. That would be hell for me. I wouldn't want to be able to do that. But I can look back and say how I would have always been striving to do what I'm doing and capable of doing right now, and encouraged public worship because I needed it. I was a young man looking for approval. I had lost my grandfather, the one I lived with and helped deliver picnic tables on this cash business he ran. I didn't get that talk like you're getting from me right now, like I used to get from him all the time. He never sat down, son, and say to me, son, I love you. You're making me proud. You're doing this and you're doing that. He was a Navy man. But I knew he loved me. I knew when I did hit the mark, he'd say, good boy. And the only time I heard him ever say, I'm proud of you, is when I graduated high school. And he said he wasn't going to go that day. And I was sitting up on the bleachers and I saw his green pickup truck pull in the parking lot. And he walked in, leaned in the doorway, watched me walk across, and got in his truck and drove away. 2 days I waited for him to say something about how he saw me go across the stage to get my diploma. I said, I saw you at the back of the stadium. I'm proud of you, boy. I gave everything I got to hear him say it again. He was a hard man to be under, but I miss him. And I know learning from me isn't easy, but it works. It works, and other people out there that are putting the work behind it, they're seeing the results. And you will too. And they're all going to come to you at a different time schedule. How long is it going to take? I don't know. Some of you might go through this with me in 4 months. Something clicks. And all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I see it. I see what I'm supposed to be looking for. That's mine. This is my model. And that feeling, that fucking confidence, that fucking dialed in moment, you know exactly because you don't know shit right now. None of you do. None of you know what the fuck you're doing. None of you know what you're looking for. But when you finally do, nothing I'm ever going to say, anybody else is going to say, is ever going to distract you. This is the thing that you're going in there looking for each time. And it's the same fucking shit repeating all the time. That's your model. You're not going to be influenced by how much money I make, how much the other students are making. That's their setup. That's their model. That's not yours. And guess what? There's lots of models, and they all could be operating in the same direction or the opposite direction, and it's all right. It sounds like it can't be possible, but it's true. It's absolutely fucking true. But you got to give yourself a real chance. Aren't you fucking worth it? Think about it. You're worrying about how long it's going to take for you to learn. How long do you plan on living? How do you want those years alive to be lived? Aren't you worth 2023? Aren't you worth putting in the effort that you see other people outside of me literally making real fucking money? Do you think that you or anybody else is going to convince them that they wasted their time? No. Just like no one's going to be able to convince you when you start doing it that you wasted your time. You're going to wish that you started sooner. You're going to wish that you would have found this shit years ago. Like every one of my successful students, once they fucking taste it and see, once they deal with it themselves and they can find it without me pointing to it, they all say the same thing. I wish I would have known this long ago. And it's always before they started trading. Because they all did what I did and everybody else has done too. They dabbled in bullshit. And the only thing happens when you mess around with shit, you get your hands dirty and it stinks. Nothing comes out good when you're messing around with bullshit. Nothing. You bring bullshit into the conversation, you bring bullshit into the learning process, you're going to get shit at the end. No matter how you slice it, this is the way it is. You cannot polish a turd. That's the bottom line. And retail bullshit is just that. It puts your mindset on the wrong things. You focus on the wrong stupid shit instead of the principles that make you consistent. Where's the market going next? Not, here's an entry strategy. Why the fuck should I be taking that entry? What's the catalyst, the rhyme and reason why the market should be even going up? Fuck your harmonic pattern targets. I don't give a shit about that. Why should it go up there? Not because there's an overlapping of Fibonacci and bullshit. Elliott wave counts are adding up to this and that, and it's a supply-demand zone. No. Who's getting their ass handed to them next? That's what the market